So, Mr. Milli Metoyer, welcome to Spade Ace Kiss the Couch. What's up?
What's up with you, man?
Nothing much. I see you be making noise in the streets, huh?
A little bit.
Okay. So, who is Milli Metoyer?
Milli Metoyer is this dude I kind of made up, but it's still me. I fucking was like quiet and shit growing up, and I always imagined myself being this other person like that was popular and shit and did all this crazy shit. And towards the end of high school, it kind of started happening like in real life. Like I prophesized the shit.
Okay. So, your actual name isn't Milli Metoyer?
Nah.
First or last name?
I mean, Metoyer is my dad's last name. Yeah, my first name, Millie, came from my middle name, which is Emil. And I just kind of flipped the syllable and then I put Metoyer in there just because I wanted my name to have meaning.
Oh, okay. And the meaning behind Milli Metoyer?
It's really like a thanks to my dad. Even though he wasn't there for me and shit, like I used to get my hair permed back in like 8th grade and shit. And one day my aunt was doing it for me and shit. She was like braiding my hair and shit, and she was saying like my hair came from my dad and like I need to thank him for that shit. And I kind of took it a little too serious and was like, shit, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have my hair. I wouldn't have my brothers and sister and shit and all my family on that side. So even though he wasn't really there, I still got a lot of good shit just from him being my father. So, yeah.
So, did your dad rock a man bun as well?
Nah, he had like the curly shit. Like nigga would have the fade and shit, but yeah, like nigga, I dress like him on the low now. Like looking at his old pictures and shit. Like nigga had his chest out and shit, but yeah.
Okay, so what makes you so versatile when it comes to rapping?
Shit, cause I could do everything. Like, I went through a phase towards like the end of 2012 and shit, where I was doing like straight old school shit, which is like my second project called Unheard Of, and it was like straight 90s shit. Like I got hella 90s beats and it was just straight 90s flows and shit. But I could do like the more modern shit too. Like the trap shit and all of that. It's whatever I'm feeling at the moment.
Okay, with that being said, do you believe that you're a step ahead of the local talent because you can go off of any beat, including 90s beats?
Yeah, I mean, not to shit on anybody, but yeah, it puts me in a range of my own. Because I don't really hear anybody else out here doing different shit. Everybody out here really has like one style that they stick to. And that's cool. It's just I like to be open-minded and just have different options myself.
So you're also a producer as well?
Yeah.
Who have you produced?
Shit, myself, my nigga Skip, and just random homies and shit, like in high school.
So do you consider yourself a better producer or artist?
It depends on how I feel, like dead ass. Like I have my days where I could just make hella beats and then I'll have writer's block, but then it'll be days where I'm writing hella verses and like different kinds of songs and shit, but I can't make a beat for the fucking life of me.
So how many beats have you made in one day?
I think the most I ever made in a day was probably like 4 or 5 or some shit. But it depends on the day again. Like I'll start on a beat just to get me to the one beat that I actually end up using.
Do you sell any of your beats?
I've tried to, but me being an artist myself, I get kind of stingy with my shit. Like I'll make a beat for someone and then be like, nah, I'm gonna keep this shit for myself. And like I have to really dedicate myself to making a beat for somebody.
Okay. So when it comes to samples, do you use anything or certain tunes you always look for, or could you really just grab 2 pens and make a beat
It's
from that?
whatever, yo. Like anything. Like you could just give me any kind of sample and I flip it. Cause my ear, I tend to catch certain shit that I feel certain people would kind of overlook, and I just manipulate it.
Okay, with that being said, are we gonna get like this man bun getting combed out sample?
I mean, shit, it could happen one day. It's an idea. I might do it.
And you're also a videographer.
Low key, I mean, loosely. I've shot shit before, but I'm just now getting to where I'm taking it serious.
Okay, you plan on doing anything with that? Are you gonna make that, you know, your main thing, or is this something you fool around with?
It's just some shit I do, cause I do everything myself already. I have I guess, kind of strange vision. Like, my imagination is strong. So for the videos I see the shit in my head first, and I'm already knowing that nobody's gonna get the angles and shit that I want for a scene or anything. So I much rather do the shit myself, which is why I make my beats and shit myself, because I know my sound. So with the videos, I know how I want shit to look.
So you've never worked with any other producer in Alexandria?
Nah, I don't think I have.
Would you like to?
I mean, if a nigga wanna, fuck with me or whatever, it's just I gotta meet you first, and we gotta have that
vibe.
Yeah, that vibe, the energy and shit. I know this one producer out here, Glow Games. That's the best producer out here. I can say that, cause I thought I was the best, and I met him one night, and he played some shit, and I was like, I really gotta step my shit up.
I've heard that name before, and I think he's really close with Bass Traps, Kato.
Oh yeah?
That's here. So yeah, maybe you should check out him too.
Most likely.
So are you a solo artist? Are you in a group or?
I'm in a group, but it's more of a collective. Meaning, like, we could just do whatever the fuck we want at free will, but we still represent for each other and shit too.
Pretty much like y'all all on the same label?
Yeah. Like that kind of thing. Like, we all promote each other and shit.
And what's the name of this group?
It's Ratchet Mob first, but it's like some older shit. But then second is Sama Gang.
And where does Ratchet Mob come from?
Ratchet Mob comes from my homie Dowdy. He actually started the shit back in Texas like a few years ago, like 2012, 2013 type shit. And the homie Cadell and Rotterdam and all them niggas and shit, they ended up joining. So it was like Ratchet Mob Texas, Ratchet Mob Louisiana, but it was all one thing. And some kind of way they ended up getting me and Ratchet Mob, and a bunch of shit went on, bro. And it's me and Rotterdam and Skip and the homie Trailer. And that's Sama Gang. But Ratchet Mob, it's complicated as fuck. Ratchet Mob is like us, and it's like niggas in Texas and in Florida and shit. So it's just a lot.
So the Louisiana version of Ratchet Mob is also Sama Gang.
Yeah, basically.
But if you go to other areas, you're affiliated with Ratchet Mob.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that. Do you feel underrated as an Alexandria artist?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I gotta go to fucking Texas just to see people appreciate my music and shit. Not to say I don't have people out here that appreciate my music and fuck with me, but it's people that I've went to school with and that have known me for some years now, that I hung out with and played my music for them. Like, I think it's only been like one or two people my entire time being here that I never met that was like, oh, you Millie, you the one, you make music and shit. So, but it's like I go to Houston and Dallas and shit, and I get off stage, everybody come at me like, nigga, what's your Instagram and shit? Like, I gotta get you, I gotta hear more of your shit. So, but I can't really trip too hard, because I never really tried to put myself out here like too tough. But the fact that people do know me out here, and I still have to go way out of town to do shit and get love, like, it's just crazy.
So nobody's reached to you from Alexandria to get on a track or anything other than the people you're already affiliated with?
Not too many people. And if they have, I don't feel like they were serious about shit. Just like just rapper talk. Like, yeah, fuck with me. Like, we got a link and shit. But shit never gets into action.
They never follow through?
Nah.
So is there anyone in the city you would like to work with that you would follow through on?
I don't know. I mean, I'm already comfortable with my homies and shit, so I don't really go looking no more. Like I used to back in high school, like when I was first taking the shit like real serious, but I tend to notice like I know everybody that's good already. So, I mean, if I was to work with somebody, it's somebody I already know, and we already talked about it, and it has yet to be put into motion, but it's gonna happen.
So other than yourself, who do you listen to in the city, and other than everybody that's in Ratchet Mob or Summer Gang?
No one.
Nobody?
No one.
At all?
Honestly, no.
Is
Unless like a nigga shoot me they link and shit, I'll be like, alright, I'll listen to it. But as far as like just going out and finding it myself, it's like they ain't do it for me.
So you just released an EP a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Called Vertical Stripes.
Yeah.
Where does that name come from?
I like vertical stripes. This is the shirt I use for the cover art. Like a couple hours before I dropped the shit, I just took a picture of the shirt and I used it.
Did you iron the shirt first?
No. I don't even own an iron. I just found the shirt and was like, I'm gonna just use this and I'm gonna zoom in on it and shit.
So the background for Vertical Stripes comes from you just like stripes, or has it transferred over to the things you go up and down in life?
It's back to the whole me being into the 90s shit. Like, what really like sparked the idea and shit, I was watching Martin, and he had on the shirt with like vertical stripes. I was like, that shit cool as hell. And then just so happened, this was actually the first one I found. Like right after I said that shit, it was like the next week, and I found this, and it was like after that, I just started getting hella shirts with vertical stripes on it, and I was like, that's kind of my thing now. Like,
so is that your favorite shirt?
It's one of them. I have a lot. I had a big collection.
So I see you talk about the 90s a lot. Do you feel like you was born in the wrong generation sometimes?
Hell yeah.
Why is that?
Cause bro, this shit today is trash, bro. Like I was with my niggas earlier, like last night and shit, and we were listening to not 90s shit, but like just old shit like from the early 2000s and shit. So, and I was like, bro, this shit is so much better than what's coming out today. Like, it's crazy. But I was in like the 10th grade, and I was like, bro, I should have been born like in the 70s. That way when I was in my 20s, I'd be in the 90s and shit, and it's like the perfect time for me because of how I like the music I make and shit.
So you could say almost a good 80% of your music is influenced by 90s?
Yeah. Even though like I don't always use a typical 90s flow pattern, but it's always the same approach with my shit. Like I even got to the point at one time I stopped writing in my phone, and I just used a pen and a pad just because I wanted to be that dedicated to the original format of things.
Okay. So do you do any freestyles at all?
Yeah. If I'm in the mood to.
I mean, like, just riding around town, put on the beat, and go from there.
Yeah. Me and the homies do this shit all the time. Like, anytime, bro. Skip is the best one, though. Traylo might be I don't know. It's between them two, because they go back and forth, like, the whole night. Like, I'm usually the one standing there waiting on them to fuck up so I could jump in, but then the other one takes that spot before I even get a chance to, so. But, I mean, I could freestyle, though. Like, I'm up there.
You can hold your own.
Yeah.
So you honestly believe your writtens are way better, though?
Yeah, hell yeah. I take more time with them. It's like, freestyling is just for fun, like, for the moment. Like, just pointing random shit out and making it rhyme as fast as you can, like, in your head and shit. But with me writing shit, it's shit that I could think about from years ago and just write about it. Like the song I Remember Growing Up, like that shit happened, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I just randomly thought about Cousin Skeeter and just went from there.
I'm glad you said that because I really wanted to get into this. I really thought you like wrote in a journal as a kid and went back and flipped through all this and that's how you end up writing that song, or you just spaced out. And
Yeah, it's just bro, I zone out a lot. Like I'm low key ADD as fuck, and I just was like just chilling one night in the bed, and then I was like, Cousin Skeeter was a good ass show. What the fuck? And then I was just like, nigga, that would be dope as hell to write. And it's like, if you pay attention, I only name black cartoons, like, or black TV shows with, like, hip-hop influence or some shit. And it was a lot of ones I missed, and I thought about it afterward, but I was like, nigga, they'll get the point.
So is there a remix to come to this? I Remember Part 2?
Nah. I mean, it could be a series, but it's not like a conscious thing at this point.
Okay, so in your EP Vertical Stripes, you only have 5 songs on there. Is there a reason why you only had 5 songs?
It was more of phone ringing and shit. It was more of like just some free will shit. Like the past 2 projects, I worked a lot on them. Like I took time just really working on them. Like 20 songs on Unheard Of. The one before that had like 18 songs. I dropped Get Involved in December. That had like 13 or 15 tracks or something. It was like I was just taking so much time working where it was like a year or 2 before I would put shit out. And with Vertical Stripes, it was more like I was just inspired by life and like shit that was just going on. And I already knew I wanted to put like a project out that was only like 15 to 20 minutes long. So yeah, I just put it together.
So there's a song on your EP called Stripes.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're going at another artist. What was that about? Tell us the story behind that.
You messy, bro. Man. How could I talk about this? Before you listen to Stripes, I have a song called Countdown on Get Involved. And I got this whole thing about Get Involved being like a prophecy on like my life and shit. Like all the shit that I'm chasing now is like coming true because I said it on there. And on Countdown, it's a part where I say, all these new niggas want the spot now. That's basically the gist of Stripes. That's like the best way I can say it without going too deep into detail. Also, it's another song on there where I say some shit about in the spring and summer, I'm breaking somebody's comfort. Like, I'm making niggas uncomfortable and shit this year. And, is it summer yet? Like the beginning, like towards the end of spring. Yeah, so.
I mean, it's hot as fuck outside.
It's hot.
So I'm gonna say it's summer.
So I was pretty accurate when I made that statement.
Prophesizing.
Prophecies, yeah.
But man, you dropping music like every month.
You have to.
Why is that?
You gotta stay consistent, bro. Back to the whole thing with why I dropped Vertical Stripes and shit, because I took so long on Get Involved. I took like 2 years working on that shit. And it was like looking back, I haven't put out too much material in between like 2014 and last year. So it was like, I gotta put out something. Cause I dropped songs just randomly too, but I wanted to get a project out of my system because I really wanted to put that shit out. So, yeah, I was supposed to be doing more shit, but it's like plans getting fucked up. I was supposed to drop a video like a couple weeks ago. Me and Skip was supposed to do some shit like this week, but it's pushed back into next week. But I'm still working though. Like I'm still being consistent, just not putting shit out. But yeah, like shit is coming.
I do know y'all busy, man. Y'all actually on tour right now. Y'all doing a tour thing.
Low key, yeah, something like that.
Where will you be next?
Next month on the 14th, July 14th, we got Shreveport, and then the next day we have Dallas, and then I think we have something out here like the next week. We got BR and Laffy and New Orleans and shit. Yeah, we got a lot of shit set up.
So if everybody in the group raps, it is an artist. Who's the manager?
Shit, we manage ourselves. Like dead ass. Like last year I took a lot of time learning how to do mixing and mastering and shit. And I felt like a lot of last year was me just learning more because I decided to take it like 100% serious. So it's like this year was, like I knew back in January, I was like, this year is going to be about me investing. Like not just money, but time and shit too. So I spend a lot of time just trying to figure out how I'm going to put shit out, how I'm going to get in contact with certain people and shit. So yeah, I basically manage everybody, but mainly myself.
So tell the fans something about Milli Metoyer that they don't know.
What should they know? I carry Louisiana hot sauce everywhere.
Why is that?
Because nigga, you gotta have Louisiana hot sauce.
But you don't take the Tony Saturates?
Nah, I mean that shit is already seasoned. You just put the hot sauce to make the shit even better.
You know who else does that, right?
Who else?
Beyonce.
Oh damn, that's lit. I'm like our Beyonce then. But
Don't ever say
man,
that again.
no, I can say that.
I remember growing up and watching Cousin Skeeter. Wasn't a puppet cleaner, all that in Kellen Keenan. Coolio TLC were rapping, singing on no Simpson. I was like, holy Jesus, I needed all